Hi, I'm Paul. Somebody just put a question to me in reference to the last few videos that I've just done, and it was quite an interesting question, so I thought I would talk a little bit about it. So, the last few videos I've been talking about my inner world, and I've been reflecting on the ego, the void which we have, which is the ego, or I've been calling it a pit of doom. The question that somebody asked was that I'm talking or I'm reflecting my inner world. Only this is a reflection of my inner world, and perhaps I should reflect on other people's inner world. You see, this question is quite interesting because my inner world is your inner world. And I thought I would talk a little bit on why this seems confusing. You see, I've been talking about the ego as being this pit of doom. So I've been describing it as we have a center, and from this center comes the world. In other words, the world is a description from my center. And the idea of this is to stay away from the bottom of the pit of doom. And if we look at this in a perspective of saying my pit of doom is different to your pit of doom, we can say that this pit of doom is a pit of fear, sorrow, misery. And if we say, yes, but that's not my pit of doom, what we're suggesting is my pit of doom, my fears, my worries, my sorrows are different to everybody else's sorrows. But to say my fears, my sorrows, would be the descriptions of your sorrows, which is only really a surface level. To say that there is fear, the sorrow, anxiety. See, this is the same fear, sorrow, and anxiety that everybody has. But you see, this is the trick of the ego, because the ego says, yes, but this is my fear. And from creating this my fear, we create the observer. You see, the observer is observing my fear, my sorrow, my anxiety. But when you see that the observer is only the divide, that's the void, that's the way of staying away from the fear and sorrow. We make a division, a separation, so it's not just fear, it's my fear. And you see, now that there's a my, a me, an I, and there's fear, there's always a divide from the fear. If we see that the observer is actually the observed, then we could say that it's not my fear, not my sorrow, not my anxiety, but fear, sorrow, and anxiety. And this fear, sorrow, and anxiety is the same fear, sorrow, and anxiety that everybody has. I mean, we're all trying to run away from it. I think the fear, sorrow, and anxiety is the sorrow of what's happening in the whole world. The sorrow of this division, the sorrow of division in countries and religions and so on. The sorrow in the hurt, the wars, the sorrow in what we cause to nature. And this sorrow, like I say, is everybody's sorrow. Everybody has fear, sorrow, anxiety, and so on. But then we say, yes, but that's not my fear, my sorrow. Like I say, creating this my creates a division. This is the void. This is the ego. This is the way of separating yourself from the pit of, or the bottom of the pit of doom. You see, we all have this fear, sorrow, anxiety. I don't care how narcissistic or psychopathic you are, it's there in everybody. See, think about it. If you didn't have fear, sorrow, anxiety, or the bottom of the pit of doom, you wouldn't need to be narcissistic. Because there wouldn't be a divide. You wouldn't need to be running away. And so to me, when I talk about my inner world, and when I say my inner world, I don't mean my superficial, my descriptions of it. My inner world is the same inner world as everybody's inner world. Anyway, thank you very much for listening.